Private or public
About
limited?
limited company.
What?
We are talking about limited company. What is a limited
Yes.
company's authorized capital?
A.
Capital that it is allowed to raise.
A.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Authorized capital is also called as the registered capital or the nominal capital. It is the maximum amount that you can raise in your lifetime is called authorized capital. Okay? Maximum amount that you can raise in your lifetime.
Can I tell the answer?
Yeah, come on. Do
So
the
we
second
can 6 million into 0.50.
Sorry?
6 million into 0.50.
You said you have the answer.
Yeah, I know the answer. I'm just
What
telling
is
you how I
issued
got.
share capital?
So the capital they issued. They have issued.
The capital that you actually sell.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the issued share capital over here?
A is the answer because we can multiply 0.50 into 6 million. We will get 3 million.
Okay.
Then we can multiply.
Shares were issued as fully paid. That means they paid the full amount.
Yes.
Okay, so this is coming up to 3 million.
Yes. Then we can multiply 1 million with 0.30. We'll get 0.3.
Okay, so after 2 months, 1 million shares were issued at 0.30.
Yes.
So this you're getting as 0.3. So the answer is 3.3. Now just remember, when you put the issued share capital, only the amount that you have called up. Called up means you have asked the people to pay, that amount you will add over here. Am I clear? Answer this. What is
Yes.
limited company's issued capital?
D is the answer.
The number of shares issued.
Yes. Wait. No.
The answer is D only, the number of shares issued.
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of paid up, if it was called up, you could have said this.
B.
Yeah. So the answer is D.
Okay.
Go to the next one. What appears as amount of share capital in limited company's balance sheet?
The nominal value of the issued share capital.
Sorry?
D is the answer.
Okay. Now, Ashman, if you know, you please be quiet and allow others to think, okay? If you know, you can do a paper. What appears as the amount of share capital in limited company's balance sheet? Battu and Umair? Nominal value means face value. Okay? Come on,
Okay.
fifth one.
Yeah, okay, miss.
What is shareholders funds? Shareholders funds would be, do you know? Anybody knows what is shareholders funds? Anybody knows what would be shareholders funds?
Ordinary shares.
Share capital. Share capital, that means you will only take the issued share capital. Issued and called up share capital. What else?
Only that, right?
Sorry?
Will we add anything else other than issued and called up?
No, I'm asking you all.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Share capital is shareholders funds is the capital plus reserves. Okay. Capital plus reserves plus retained earnings. Please learn it right away. What is shareholders funds?
Capital plus reserve plus retained earning.
plus reserves plus retained earnings. Okay. Reserves may in your syllabus you only have general reserves. What do you have? General reserves.
General reserve.
What is retained earnings? Retained earnings is whenever you have profit for the year. Whenever you have profit for the year, you transfer it. You transfer it to the retained earnings. Okay. Now let's see over here. You have issued capital 350. General reserves 20,000. 350 plus 20,000 is how much? 370,000.
370.
Retained earnings. What comes in retained earnings? What will go in retained earnings? In retained earnings, we put the profit for the year. What do we put in retained earnings? Profit
for the year.
Profit for the year comes from where?
From income statement.
From income statement. So this is issued and called up share capital, general reserves, and retained earnings. How much is retained earnings? 36,000. How much is retained earnings?
36,000.
So it comes up to total 406,000. Shareholders funds. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
miss.
come on, tell me again, what is shareholders funds made up of?
Called up share capital, general
Issued
reserves,
and called up share capital. What else?
Retained
General
earnings.
reserves and add retained earnings. So this is one favorite question that comes in limited company accounts. Calculate the shareholders funds. Second favorite question that comes in limited company is calculate retained earnings. So you need to know this format of retained earnings. I'm just putting it over here. First, balance at start. Okay. Balance at start. You will add the profit for the year. Balance at start. Add profit for the year minus transfer to general reserves. Minus transfer to general reserves. This you will minus over here. Can you all see my screen moving?
Yes.
Minus
Yes.
interim dividend. Can you see interim dividend I have written?
Yes.
Okay. Minus interim dividend. Interim dividend would always be paid for the current year. And minus final dividend. Final dividend would always be paid for the last year. And you would get your retained earnings at the end. And you will get your retained earnings at the end. Okay. So what all comes in retained earnings? Balance at start, add profit for the year, minus transfer to general reserves, minus interim dividend of current year, minus final dividend of last year. Everybody knows this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is shareholders funds made up of? Can you all again tell me?
Shareholders funds issued plus Issued plus called up capital,
Issued and
share
called up
capital,
capital and
general reserve plus retained earnings.
okay. What is retained earnings made up of?
Retained earning is made up of balance at
Balance
start,
at start plus profit for the year minus transfer to general reserve minus interim dividend minus final dividend will
Interim
get
dividend of which year?
this current year.
Last current year. And final dividend of?
last year.
Last.
Okay, come on, answer this question. Which item appears in statement of changes in equity of a limited company? These all headings that I have given over here, they come in statement of changes in equity of a limited company. Come on. Dividend
Yes.
that I told you, it was first was profit for the year, then transfer to reserves, then was dividend paid. Even interim dividend was paid, even final dividend was paid, right? So what item comes in the statement of changes in equity? I know that there is something that is related to dividend. So will the paid dividend come or the proposed dividend come?
Proposed.
The paid
Yeah,
one.
I think so.
Paid. We said interim dividend also paid. Interim dividend also paid of the last year, and proposed dividend, final dividend also paid of the, interim dividend paid of the current year, final dividend paid of the last year. Okay. Proposed dividend comes in profit and loss appropriation account. Am I very clear?
Yes, miss.
Paid dividend
Yeah.
come in statement of changes in equity. Come on over here. A limited company has issued share capital 200,000 shares of $1 each. Retained profits brought forward. When I say brought forward means what? When I say brought forward means what?
I mean, bringing it forward
It is the
to next month.
earnings of the beginning of the year.
No, it's
Okay. This is net profit. This is profit for the year. This is transfer to general reserves. Dividend 10% was paid during the year. So what do they want you to find? Retained earnings at the end of the year. I gave you the format right now, right? For retained earnings. I gave you the format for retained earnings, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Learn that format, use that format, and give the retained earnings at the end of the year. This format is very important. Can you tell me what is the retained earnings at the start?
It's 12,000.
Profit for the year?
Was it 3,000?
Transfer to general reserves?
It's 10,000.
Dividend paid during the year? I don't know whether it's interim or final. I can just subtract it. As long as they have told me it is paid. They have paid 10% on ordinary shares. So ordinary share capital is 200,000 shares into $1 per share. They have paid 10% on this. So how much dividend have they paid? 20,000. So I will get balance at end. What is the balance at the last for my retained earnings? I'm getting 25,000. So it is 25,000 credit. Just for your information, all provisions, general reserves, profits, retained earnings, they all have credit balance.
Yeah.
Okay? So it is 25,000 credit. I hope you all got this sum. I hope
Yes.
you all got
Yes.
this sum.
Yes, miss.
Go to the next one. They want to know the total dividend for the year. Even for getting the total dividend for the year, I can use this format. Come on. How much was the retained profit on the first date?
45,000.
45,000. And they had increased it to how much?
75,000.
That is, this is on the first date or last date?
31st December, last date.
Last date. What is the profit for the year?
80,000.
80,000. I don't know any transfer to general reserve, but I know there is something if I minus from here, I will get the dividend for the year. Just tell me if you all are clear with this.
50,000.
How
Yes,
much?
miss.
50,000.
50,000. So basically, limited companies, you only have to know the retained earnings format, shareholders funds, and a difference between issued and authorized capital. Nothing more than that they will ask. Okay. What is the format of retained earnings? What is the format of retained earnings? Come on, tell me.
Balance at start
Hmm.
plus profit of the year minus transfer to general reserve minus interim dividend of current year
Dividend paid.
minus
Interim current year, final last year.
then minus final dividend last year.
You get the balance at the end. What is shareholders funds made up of? Shareholders funds made up of?
Shareholders funds made up of the issued and called up capital plus general reserve plus retained earning.
Okay, fine. Come on. Which items will not appear in statement of changes in equity?
Debenture interest.
Trust.
Okay. Preference dividend, share dividend, transfer to reserves will appear. This will not appear. Okay. There are only 25 MCQs in this. So this should go faster. What is included in the capital and reserve section of a company's balance sheet? Capital and reserve section means the shareholders' funds. Capital and reserve section means what? Shareholders' funds. So what is included in the shareholders' funds of a company's balance sheet? Authorized share capital is certainly not included because we take which capital? Issued and called up capital. Debenture is loan, so even this is not there. So what is included in the capital and reserve section? Can I say D? Think and tell me. Can I say D?
B.
D.
D.
Yes, D.
Authorized share capital is not a part of capital. It is just the registered capital. Okay? It is just the registered capital. Come on. Now tell me what is shareholders funds. You all know what is shareholders funds. Now I can get the answer from you. Which three things you all will add? But to which three things you will add? Achman, which three things will you add?
First 200,000.
Okay.
Yeah,
200,000 plus 30,000 plus 15,000.
Yes.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
So this
245,000.
245.
Option A.
245.
Okay. Come on. Retained profits had a credit balance of 55,000 on 1st January 2006. Company was started when? 2001. In 2006, the retained profits had this balance. What does this represent?
B is the
Balance
answer.
represents profits
Yes, that's
brought
correct.
forward from previous years.
Yeah.
Retained earnings balance begin down represents, what does it represent?
Total profits brought forward from previous
Total
years.
profits brought forward from the previous years. Come on, go to the 13th one. Sure, Sinola has transferred 10,000 to general reserves. In which of the company's financial statement will 10,000 be shown? Because she has transferred it to general reserves, it will certainly be shown in the balance sheet. So I have to choose between option A and B.
B.
Transfer to general reserves
B.
also shown in statement of changes in equity in the retained earnings column, right?
Yes.
So the option is B. Are you all with me?
Yes.
Yes.
Come on, let's go to the other one. Think and tell me. Which group contains only items that appear in statement of changes in equity of a limited company?
C.
Let's see why others are not there. Debenture interest will not come. Director salary will not come. Debenture interest will not come. So the remaining option is C. Try this. Try this. What was the retained profit?
Retained earning and profit is same, right?
Okay, now look over here very carefully.
Okay, 15,000. 15,000.
How did you get this?
Okay, we will add the non-current assets with the net current assets. Then we can subtract from the debentures. We will get 55,000. Then we can subtract that with the ordinary share capital.
Okay, listen to me properly. Non-current assets plus current assets. Non-current assets plus current assets, it gives us the total assets minus current liability minus non-current liability will give us our shareholders funds. Are you all with me?
Yes.
Non-current assets is how much? 35,000.
Yes, that's 5,000.
I don't know current this, but I know that the current assets minus current liabilities.
Which is?
Current assets is 30,000.
Yeah, 30,000.
So I will add that. They have added and must add and subtract करके they've given me this answer. Okay?
Yeah.
Now I have my non-current liability, that is 10,000. I'm subtracting the liability side. So I will come up with my shareholder funds, which is 65,000 minus 10,000. Shareholders
55,000.
55,000. Now shareholders funds is made up of what? Shareholder funds is made up of what? We just did, right? Shareholders funds is made up of what? Issued and called up capital plus reserves. What is our issued and called up capital? It is 40,000. Total shareholders funds is how much? 55,000. If my issued and called up capital is 40,000, what will be my reserves? 15,000. Are you all with me?
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this format again. Non-current assets plus current assets, total assets minus non-current liability minus current liability will give us shareholders funds. And shareholders funds is made up of two things. What are the two things that it is made up of?
Issued capital and retained earning.
Okay. Issued capital, not retained earnings.
And general reserve. General reserve.
Reserves is made up of two things. General reserves and retained earnings. Okay. Either we follow this format or if I have been given net current assets. So it will be non-current assets plus net current assets minus non-current liability. will give me my shareholders funds. It is just the balance sheet, nothing new in this. Okay,
Okay.
try
Yes,
the
miss.
16th one. They want to know the percentage final dividend that the ordinary shareholders would receive. What is my retained earnings section? Do I have any balance at the start? Do I have any balance at the start? Answer at least. I don't have. Do I have profits for the year?
Yes.
Yes.
Do I
13,000.
have transfer to general reserves?
6,000.
6,000. Do I have interim dividend paid?
3,000.
3,000. What is the balance of profits that is left with me? $4,000 is the balance profit.
4,000.
4,000 is the balance profit left with me.
Yes.
Are you all with me?
Yes.
It was
Yes.
decided to
Yeah,
use
miss.
the remaining profit to pay ordinary share dividend. So from the remaining profit, I'm going to pay ordinary share dividend. So 4,000 is going to be used to pay dividend to 50,000 shares into $1. So how much dividend will each shareholder get? And I will multiply this by 100 so that I know the percentage of final dividend. So 4,000 is going to be used. This is the remaining profit. It is going to be used to give
8%.
50,000 shareholders. Always multiply with the face value into 100. So you will get percentage of final dividend. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am. So 4%.
Yes.
8%.
8, but sorry, yeah, 8%.
You see, most of the things comes only with two things. One is the format of the retained earnings. Do you remember the format of retained earnings? Please tell me if you remember. Say orally amongst
Yes.
yourselves.
First the profit of the year. No, first
No.
balance at start. Balance at start plus profit of the year minus transfer to general reserve minus interim dividend minus
Interim
final dividend.
Achman, Battu, Arman, you all know the format?
Yeah.
Yes.
Battu, do you know the format of shareholders funds? Yeah, tell, do you all know the format of shareholders funds? Do you all know the format of shareholders funds?
Issued share capital and issued share capital and reserves
General reserves, and
plus retained earning.
this is also called the capital and reserve section. What is this also called?
Capital and reserve section.
It is also called the capital and reserves section. Are you all with me? So most of the thing is done out of this. Come on, 17. What is a feature of preference shares? दालचीनी और अदरक डाला. Answer this. First thing,
Miss, B is the answer.
sorry,
B is the answer.
why others is not the answer? The percentage of dividend is fixed. So annual dividend is fixed. We say the percentage of dividend is fixed. Whether you will receive it every year or no, it depends upon the profits. Okay? Whether you will receive it every year or no, it depends upon the profits of the company. And the percentage is not a percentage of profit. You will get percentage of share capital as dividend. The number of shares that you invest, you will get a percentage of that as dividend. That is why it is not this. Preference shareholders are not entitled to vote. Preference shareholders are not entitled to vote, and the dividend is fixed, it does not vary. So the answer is, before I return ordinary share capital, preference share capital is returned. Go to the next one. Capital and reserves section means which section? Please answer. Capital and reserve section means which section?
Preference share capital, ordinary share capital, and retained earnings.
Means of shareholders funds.
Yes.
Capital and reserve section means the shareholder funds. This does not come in shareholder fund. Debenture does not come in shareholder fund. Ordinary share dividend does not come in the shareholders funds. Only capital comes in the shareholders funds. So it would be D. Come on to the 19th one. What do they want? They
Issued
want the
and called
value
up
of
capital.
issued capital and called up capital. Try it. Try. When I want issued and called up capital, I have nothing to do with the authorized share capital. My authorized share capital is 1 million shares. And I have issued 60% of this. So what is 60% of 1 million? I have issued 600,000 shares. Okay. 600,000 shares of 0.80 each. Do you all agree with me? At least
Yes.
tell yes or no. 600,000 shares of 0.80 each. It issued 60% of this. Half of the amount was paid immediately. So what is half of the amount? 600,000 into 0.40. This is paid immediately. And half is to be paid a year later. So what is issued capital? 600,000 into 0.8. So issued capital is 480,000. So either it could be B or C. They have agreed that they will pay half now, half later. So if the company agrees that people will pay half this year, half next year, that means they have called up only for 240,000. Called up capital is the amount you actually ask the shareholders to pay. Are you all with me?
Yes, miss.
Okay, fine. 20th. How much was equity and how much was capital employed? Do you know the formula for capital employed? Capital plus non-current liability. Do you know the formula for capital employed?
Capital plus non-current liability.
Oh. But in a limited company, what is capital? In a limited company, what is capital?
Shareholders capital.
Shareholders funds.
Okay.
So give the value of equity and give the value of capital employed. Equity means shareholders funds. So basically now we have three names for shareholders funds. Shareholders funds, capital and reserve section, or equity. What is the value of equity? Can you all tell me? Will it be this? Hello.
Yes.
But two, are you there? So anything between C and D. Anything between C and D.
So 500,000 minus 170,000.
This is equity. Capital employed is shareholders funds plus non-current liability. What is non-current liability? Debentures. So shareholders funds or equity is 500,000. Non-current liability is 170,000. So capital employed is 670,000. Are you with me? Shareholders funds. What is shareholders funds made up of?
Issued and called up capital.
And?
Then general reserve and retained earning.
Okay.
So issued capital, it will be 100,000.
100,000 into 1.
To one, that will be, of which 50,000 are fully paid.
But you have called
So-
up for full 100,000, right? For full one.
Yes.
So you have asked for full $1, but they paid you, half of them paid you, so that is not your concern. It shouldn't be your concern, right? What you call
Yes.
is your capital. Come on. What is the retained profits? Now retained
2,500.
profits has 2,500 at the start, and also you have earned during the year. What is the profit for the year? 1600. So what is your total retained earnings? It is 4100. Okay. Do you have any general reserves? So total shareholders funds will be 104,100. Huh? This is option A. Good job, people. Arman, they're doing it your way. 50,000 have paid full money and 50,000 have paid half money. Okay, only 50,000 are fully paid. I don't know about remaining people. So it would be 54,100. No, this is not logical. You all will mark 10 for 100 only, okay? Hello, are you all there?
Yes, miss.
I'm proceeding. Do the 20
Okay,
seconds.
miss.
But two, I want the answer from you. What is the value of the retained profits? Mostly you will get 2 MCQs for retained profit and 1 for shareholders funds. Okay. What is dividend paid?
Dividend paid, what is it? It's 24,000.
Come on. What will be the retained earnings at the end?
258,000.
Okay. You add and you
258,000.
subtracted the ones in the bracket?
Yes.
Okay. So it is 258,000. Are you all with me?
Yes.
Come on, 23rd. Where will debenture interest appear in the financial statement? Debenture interest is certainly not coming in statement of changes in equity. So option C and D is gone. They are paid in arrears. Arrears means it is outstanding. If it is outstanding, it will come in the statement of financial position. That means B is also gone. So it's option A. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Everyone? $24.
Yes, miss.
Which statement applies to preference shareholders? Come on, give me the answer. Which statement applies to preference
C.
shareholders? What?
It's either C or D, right?
They don't get a
Uh,
fixed percentage of profit. They get a fixed percentage of the amount invested.
Oh, okay. So
And
D.
they don't get interest. They get dividend.
Done.
They are usually entitled to vote winner. So they are members of the company.
Oh,
I
okay.
they are members of the company. Okay? Are you all with me?
Yes, okay.
Last one. Limited company done. Which item is directly affected by the dividend policy of a limited company? From where do you pay dividend?
From
From
retained earning.
pay dividend.
From retained earning.
We pay dividend from retained earnings. So what item
So
is
D.
directly affected? It is D.